this thought is for everybody. Have you ever, but you know what? This is targeting believers, teachers of righteousness, and preachers, because they're the main ones, males. And I'm not saying females does that too, but the males get up and they preach against provocative wearing, and but they go after that type. Have you ever, and I know that you know that the bad things we do, whether we're claiming righteousness or not, we know better that that the things that we do in secret, or what we think is secret, the angels recording, God sees everything. We all know that, but we really don't think about it. But have you ever thought, and let me just start with the believers first, the ones who think they're going in the dark and taking your significant other or your fling on the side, or this is both male and female, and think you driving way out of the city thinking nobody knows. God said people see you somewhere sometimes, because sometimes people go out of town, whatever. But everything that you do, the angel's standing right there. And it's like, wow, even we do know, but we really don't think about it. Even a husband and a wife, and they have every right to be intimate, whatever, but the angel is standing right there. Everything is recording. And these believers who do this with someone who's not a believer, unequally yoked, just to even think that, now let's get real, making noise and whatever kind of stuff you do, and the angel is sitting right there, or standing right there watching everything. Even if the angel turned his back, he can see. But it doesn't bother the angel, because they're not set up for things like that to entice them. They see it, and they're writing down. Okay, you say you a believer, and you being intimate with the unbeliever, and all the things that person does, the unbeliever or whatever, or even the so-called sanctified person, you're having sex with all types of partners. And the Bible says the things that they do is even let me see, what is that word? It's a shame. Even the things that they do in secret is even a shame. And here you are, call yourself a believer, and you got your legs in the sky. I'm just gonna be real. And the angel is watching everything, every move, every sound, isn't that embarrassing? But we don't think about that, because we're thinking about ourselves. And the things that we all, in the past, I'm thinking years ago, I'm like, oh my God. One day I was just thinking, thinking about that. I'm like, wow, God sees everything. Even though I knew the God, but you don't think about that at the time, because the Bible says everything was recorded. And when you are going to the judgment seat, if you have not repent, everything comes out. Everything is recorded. Everything you said, done, whatever. But preachers who's doing this, and so-called female evangelists and teachers, ain't you got no shame? You're not even ashamed. You're going like, oh, I'm refreshed, I'm going out here. Wow, that's the mark against you. And on top of that, even unbelievers, we know that it's going to be recorded. Threesomes and things like that some religious people, believers call themselves getting into, like, well, I'm just going to try that, and God forgive me. You're playing Russian roulette, as they say. You could die right there on that bed, or wherever you are. Because look, maybe back in the day, and I'm just figuratively just saying, the enemy wants to play with those who say they're after pastoral families. So they play with you. They're whispering in your ears. You're enticed. You have sex with out fornicating and adultery and things like that. And then in your mind you think, I can just ask for forgiveness. Oh God, you the one made us like this, and we no. The Bible says that you are enticed by your own lust, and you yield to the devil. And then you go to church, God forgive me. You go to the altar, and then you do it again. Then you go to the altar. But see, the devil likes to play the enemy, have you up and down until you die. But now, the end is, their time is very, very short. They're not playing now. The demons, you go out there and call yourself getting enticed, like, staying around a person. Why don't you separate yourself from the ungodly? Because when you do have sex, fornicating, you can die right there. God will allow the enemy will try to wipe you out before you can even say, God forgive me, because they're not playing. They're trying to take as many people in hell as they can with them, because time is very, 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 very short. This is right there. You're taking a chance. You're thinking that you're gonna have time. I'm gonna say, God forgive me, but let me just reach my peak first. Bam, you have a heart attack before you even have it. But this is the kind of game that you're playing. And the demons, they're not kidding anymore. It used to be where they just play with you like a yo-yo, so you can keep on until you die. But now it's like you're getting wiped out. You have heart attacks. You don't know if they can do something to your, a spiritual thing. You're driving, you crash, and you don't even have time to say, God forgive me. This is the kind of game they're playing now. The enemy. You can't play. You don't have time for that. And that's why I said, don't you have any shame? That's shameful for them to watch. And then you call yourself speaking in the look, you can't speak in a godly language doing these kind of things. That's the enemy. That's the tongue of the enemy. Because you can't play. How are you going to easily fall into a trap of having sex and things like that? That shows where your fruit is. You have to be delivered, because you can die. You could die before you even reach your satisfaction. You can die as soon as you get up and say, I need to get on my knees. Boom, a heart attack. What you gonna do? You're on your way to hell. It ain't time to play. The demons ain't playing. They're trying to wipe everybody out. So I'm just saying, you gotta have shame. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. But anyway, that's just some of the things that make you go, wow, didn't think about that. I thought about it, but I really didn't. Okay? Be careful. Be careful. That's all I want to say. It's embarrassing enough with the husband and wife, even though I'm not saying God allowed the husband and wife to do that, but just even think that the angel's going to always be around you. Jesus is going to always be with you, and God is always going to see you. He allow you to do that when you're married. But, I'm just saying. I heard someone told me some time ago they had pictures of their family up, and their parents' picture was on the dresser or whatever, and then even with being intimate with her husband or whatever, they had to turn the picture around because they felt uncomfortable, even though it's just a picture. But you know what I'm saying. God sees everything. So let's do the right thing. Okay. But think about that.